So we'll do a little recap on how me and John started working together. I've been in the industry 15 years, working for some of the bigger brands you've seen out there. Basically doing retail, wholesale. I did GNC, Vitamin Shop, brick and mortar stores, overseas distribution, and I always kind of saw the Loco pre-workout over the past couple of years, and I saw that, and I didn't know much information on the brand. I checked out their Instagram, and it was very a mystery to me. Like, who are these guys? What are they doing? Are they selling to stores? What do they do? And I started following you on your Instagram, and I saw the branding and everything, and I was like, hey, this stuff is like really cool and unique. And I just feel the industry lacks a lot of cool, unique brands right now. So I reached out to you and I said, hey man, I'm in the business of helping brands expand into retail and distribution. Maybe we could collab on some stuff and get your brand out there. Mm-hmm. And you originally said no right off the bat. Why did you say no? Why didn't you want to expand out there into the world?
I just want everyone to leave me alone. I just wanted to make product. I was never interested in really expanding the brand. I always just thought it was going to be just more like a California-based kind of company, and I just really wasn't too interested. I've gotten offers before and stuff, like a lot. I've had almost so close to having partners in MyoBlox, and I've always just kind of backed off. So I've always just been very careful. It's like my baby. Like it's like my baby, like 100%. So that's kind of why I did say no. But then I remember I was kind of entertaining the idea in my head, and I was at I think it was last year's Olympia. Yeah. I was with my buddies and stuff, and we're just chilling. I was just looking around. There's none taken from the brands. I mean, there's a lot of brands out there that have their booths and stuff. I'm like, yeah, these brands are okay. They're kind of cool, and they're all kind of killing it. And I'm just like, wow, like I think I should be that brand. So that's kind of when I did text you. I texted you while I was at the Olympia, and I said, okay, like we can meet, we can talk, and we can figure something out. Long as because the only thing I was ever scared of is having people come into the company and then that's the integrity just goes downhill. Yeah. Like, because then it's about the sales, and I'm never about the sales. I just want to make great stuff, so that was my initial hesitation, but it's been about a year later, and you're right here now, so I did entertain the idea, and it was I think it's a good decision, man. I think the brand is doing great, and we have not sacrificed the integrity, so stoked about that 100%. Couldn't have worked out any better.
Yeah, well, I remember you sent me. I said, "Hey, send me some products out to look at and try, and I'll let you know what I think." So you sent me a box, and I still have the card, and it says,
right here.
"Hey, man, looking forward to 2018." Yeah. This was in October of 2017, and I remember taking the products out and looking at them, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." And my girlfriend came over and picked up a product, and she said, wow, you're going to sell a lot of this. Mm-hmm. And, we both tried the products, and they were awesome. The flavors were great. The protein flavor was amazing for it being natural. I remember that. And so I started making some calls to the shops, and they started picking up the brand pretty quickly, and then getting reorders. So it all kind of started to happen really fast, and we got some things out in Australia. Those guys really loved the brand, and they started picking everything up really fast. Yeah. And I know one thing you were really worried about is the brand integrity. Because right now the biggest issue is, all brands that, kind of whore out their products, and, you see them on BOGO and things like that. And, products just aren't special anymore. It's like almost a commodity. Where supplements used to be special. I remember getting in that, cool product from Gaspari or something, and I couldn't wait to use it. It was special. And now things are just like discounted. It's just like something you get at Costco.
Well, now it's just more about the price, though, and that's the hardest part now. Is why should I buy your product? I can get this over here for $29.99, and I'm like, this is a complete different product. You can't. They're both pre-workouts, but that does not mean it's the same. It's not apples and apples. That's apples and oranges. use different ingredients, have different costs, and therefore the product will be a different cost. I mean, it's like tennis shoes, anything that anyone could, be more like receptive to, whether it's like tennis shoes or clothes or food. I mean, a burger is not really a burger, there's McDonald's burger, then there's like the counter burger or another burger with like, grass-fed bison. I mean, it's just apples and oranges, and it always will be. So the price, you get what you pay for. And, I've said it before, cheap shit ain't good and good shit ain't cheap.
Yeah.
100%. So, I mean, I will stick to that till I drop 100%, And yeah, I mean, to touch base on that, yeah, we haven't sacrificed integrity. We've been growing very fast. And, a lot of companies, they kind of, when you scale, you lose that integrity. So
Yeah.
I'm just glad we're keeping it. And I think I've said that probably about 3 times so far in this,
Well, yeah, usually, when these companies scale, they will give up that integrity to make more money. And obviously, me being, a sales guy, I want to do the most amount of sales as possible. I want to sell as much MyoBlox. I want the brand to grow as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But, I have a reputation of being really good at, controlling the pricing, controlling the accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it was a perfect match when we started working together, because you have this premium brand with this great branding and everything that has a lot of value to it. And I'm getting it out there worldwide, and I'm protecting the value of the brand.
Yeah.
So together, you're creating these great products, and I'm getting them out there, and helping the shops get them, helping the distributors get them, and we're maintaining that integrity. We're maintaining that price point. And yeah, it is a higher priced brand, but what you're getting more servings, you're getting better ingredients, you're actually getting a better deal for your money.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, and there was things that we even have in products that nobody else does have too. I mean, we have the Nividrin, which is like the natural galantamine. I mean, you can't get that anywhere.
Yeah.
Like you really can't get that anywhere. Dead serious.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what it was about back in the day. You would see companies with these special ingredients.
Yeah. No, I remember I used to be a fan of a couple companies, and I still, have some love for some and stuff, but yeah, you got to find your own way. And I think like, it's just kind of bringing some of that not necessarily old school, but like, just bringing some like efficacy like back almost in a sense, like bringing something more special like in 2018, 2019, because now I see a lot of brands that just look like the same brands.
Yeah.
And there's just, everyone's making the same stuff and just telling different stories, and it's always like, oh, ours is the best. Well, I can say that too, but ours really is the best though. It's good stuff. We make good products. Everyone has liked them. We have never had anything negative to say on any of the formulas. And it's just because that integrity is still there, and the whole point of, I think, this video is just how we maintain the integrity as we grow.
Yep.
That's the story, that is the MyoBlox story, how we started from being this big of a brand. I was like out of the camera for a second, being this big to being much bigger, and keeping it how it used to be. That to me is just as special as I can get for any company, I think. So
Yeah.
that's what really means a lot to me. And if we can keep doing that, I don't think there's nowhere where we can't really go. We're growing every single month.
Yeah.
Every single month, so there's so many more things we're doing. We have a lot of products we've been working on. I'm working on another limited edition series. GC is working on his limited or special edition, but we have another product we'll be dropping next month, or actually no, it's already September now? So I don't even know the goddamn months, man. Yeah, like mid-September, end of September, we're dropping another product, which is pretty special. What it is, I can't tell you, because that would take all the fun out of it. So there's just a lot of things, about MyoBlox that I personally love, just because we keep everything on their toes. We keep everybody guessing. I always keep a mystery to it. I never really like to say what we're gonna do next, or you know, if I had it my way, I would never announce a limited edition. I would just drop it on a random day. Kind of like those, like, you know, back in the day when they used to drop like sneakers, you know, used to drop them without even announcing it. It was just a pop-up surprise. Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so, you know, we've been at it now about almost 12 months in expanding the brand, and, you know, so far it's going really well. You know, our biggest problem is keeping the products in stock for you guys. You know, I know we have the Gorilla Chemist product coming out soon, and we'll tell you guys a little bit about how we linked up with Gorilla Chemist. Gorilla Chemist was actually my roommate for a little while in Florida, and we worked together, and when I started working for MyoBlox, he came over to my house, we're hanging out, and I was like, hey, check out this new brand that I'm working with. And he tried a few of the products and he loved them. He thought it was great. He loved the branding. He loved the limited editions. And, you know, he was working for some other companies, and then he became a free agent. And I said, you know, John, let's meet with Gorilla Chemist at the LA Fit Expo. And
oh yeah, LA Fit Expo, that's pretty nice.
Yep, so that was a little while ago, and we said, hey, you know, how can we get this guy on with us? He has a cool reach, a cool audience, and, you know, he formulates very differently than anybody else would formulate.
Very different.
And you already are a really good formulator. So I figured, hey, you know, if we get this guy to come in and collab with us, you know, the stuff we could do, we could really put out some neat products.
Yeah.
And so we decided to do a Gorilla Chemist MyoBlox series, which is an extension of the MyoBlox brand. So it'll have the Gorilla Chemist touch and the MyoBlox touch.
Yeah, you know, you got to combine like both elegances, you know, and it's pretty damn cool. I mean, I've tried the prototypes, and that pretty feels like nothing I've felt, you know, before. I've never seen something that has those ingredients, and I think it's pretty damn cool. I think people are gonna love it, you know.
I mean the original MyoBlox products are already really good. The formulas are already over the top. So this just gives us another, you know, an avenue, a different product, a different experience for the customer, you know, that loves the regular loco and that wants to try a different experience now.
100%, you know, and that's like what it's all about, you know. It's just kind of like keeping everything under one roof, and, you know, doing collabs under one roof, you know. I mean, I think it's so cool that, you know, we all linked up and we're doing that series, you know. I think people are gonna really like it.
Oh yeah, the products are awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
Different. You know, every Gorilla Chemist product that I've ever tried has always been extremely effective. Never heard any complaints about anything. Yeah. He spends a lot of time researching every ingredient.
Yeah, he does.
Every study. So what he brings to the table is something different, and what you bring to the table is something different, and what I bring to the table is something different too. Yeah. So, you know, we really feed off of each other, and we have a really cool team. And what I feel we are bringing something a little bit different and very fresh to the industry. And I feel like we're doing well because we came out at a time where the industry needs something a little fresh. You know, you have a million brands out there. And like John said, we don't knock anybody's brand. If you start a brand, I mean, that's awesome, man. Good for you.
More power to you.
Yeah. But, you know, there is a lot of brands out there, and there's not too many doing anything different. So, you know, I contribute a lot of our growth to us being different.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, because when the customer comes in and they see all these brands and they see, you know, something like this, you know, it draws them to it. And then what's inside the product is different too. So we're really bringing this kind of fresh feel to the industry, and that's why we're doing, you know, so well now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's all about combining different types of dynamics, you know, for that different result. You know, I mean, if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result, you know. So sometimes it's good just to kind of shake a couple things up and do some things you probably wouldn't necessarily do, you know, as a company, you know. So if I was back in my no mode, you know, in 2016, 2017, I probably wouldn't work with anybody, you know. This year I kind of just started pretty much more so like allowing more things to kind of happen and unravel as they've been, you know, and saying yes to certain things, you know. So, I mean, you know, ever since, you know, we've been doing that, it's been going very good, you know.
Yeah, I love working for, you know, the smaller brands and things that have a little bit more of exclusivity exclusivity to it.
Exactly.
It's not easy, you know, from a working standpoint, selling, you know, there's many days that I got to eat shit, you know, all day. So it's not easy, but in the end of the day, for me, it's more rewarding.
100%, man. I mean, smaller brands, I think, are just, I just love small brands. I just love how all small brands function. Less people, but much more key, you know, they have much more key initiative, you know, within the brand, you know, instead of having like a company of like 50 people. I would lose my goddamn mind if there was that many people. I think like 5 people is enough sometimes, you know.
So where do you see, you know, MyoBlox going in the next, you know, let's say 2 years? Are you going to see these products in a GNC, in a vitamin shop, or, you know, what are we doing? What is our goal?
No, and you know, with respect, I mean, I think, you know, I'm not going to knock any big company, but I don't think that's for us. You know, I think we're going to keep going to like mom and pop shops, and you know, keep going into new countries. I mean, that's kind of like where some of the main focus is too right now. We're going to keep doing limited editions. I've got a lot of cool new things that we're going to be doing as a company that I haven't even probably told you yet or anybody yet, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, you're so secretive with those. I never find out, and they're like, show me the label. He's like, no, I can't show you the label yet. I'm like, come on, show me the label.
You have to be there. You have to keep it fun, you know. You got to always think of new ways to get different results, you know, and I want it to be so much more than just like a supplement company, you know, so I'm always thinking outside the box of what else can we do. I mean, dude, even like I even like making stickers. I mean, like everyone used to make fun of me, like, oh, you know, you're making stickers now, you know. Like I like making MyoBlox stickers. Like I like remixing certain kind of concepts and having it say MyoBlox. You know, I think I made like a Wonder Bread sticker, but it said MyoBlox instead. You know, so little things are key for me. Like all the little subtle accents are key. That's what makes companies king.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, I mean, that's what makes it fun for the consumer too. You know, all those little things. You know, people hit me up and say, "Hey, I love this MyoBlox jug that you guys made." You know, it's just a little jug, but you know, the customers love little stuff like that. Yeah. So, you know, it's all about every little detail, you know, that we're bringing to the consumer.
Everything, man. I mean, like, you know, a lot of like what MyoBlox is like a lot of like past experience, you know. Like I used to love like reading comics. I used to like going into like vintage stores, even candy shops. I fucking love walking into like those big candy shops that have all those like random candies and stuff like that. I get so many ideas just by looking at like packaging or the key terms, the words, you know, what kind of candy, what flavor. Maybe I should do that flavor. I'm not too sure, maybe. But, you know, everything, you know. I'm going to actually backtrack a second. But for Skywalk, this is like so random now. A lot of people thought I got that name from like Star Wars, but I didn't get that name from the Star Wars. I got that, actually, it's more like a native term. It means higher mind.
Yep.
You know, I'm Native American, a pretty good portion of it. So it just means higher mind, and I didn't say it from Star Wars, okay? But, okay, move forward. I like thought about that like for 30 minutes ago. But no, yeah, like everything, you know, and I think I get a lot of like ideas just from the things that I see, and that's kind of what becomes MyoBlox, you know? So, I mean, that's pretty much about like it as far as like the ideas and what we're going to be doing. I mean, I can't ever really make announcements and tell everyone what we're going to do. That just wouldn't be the style, you know, never will be. But I think we got a lot of great things coming. I know we have a lot of great things coming because it's already all on my computer. But yeah, I just can't wait to show everybody like what we're going to do next, you know, with every release, you know. It's more overwhelming than it's ever been in my entire life, but we have so many things planned and so many impulsive things sometimes I'll just kind of come up with, you know. I mean, I remember I've done limiteds on the fly sometimes where I'm just like, I just got to do a limited. Cinco was actually on the fly.
Yep.
You know, it was an idea we kind of like entertained a while back, but then one day I had to pull the trigger on it and just went to work on it, you know. So that one turned out really nice too. That flavor was fucking great.
Yeah.
That was sherbet margarita.
Yeah, that's
so good.
some of the, but my favorite one so far, the rainbow.
Oh yeah, no,
Cinco,
rainbow's great, man. I love Rainbow Haze, man. That is one of my favorites too. They're all really good for their own reasons. I'm just looking forward to the October too. That's gonna be like, that's my favorite month of the year, man. So I got some pretty cool stuff coming out there too.
Now I know we do really well with the shops, brick and mortar shops. For me, those have always been, stores that I love working with. From the beginning, when I started going into the stores, because those brick and mortar stores always had the special products. If you went to GNC's, corporate store, you would get cool stuff, but you would get the really cool stuff at, the brick and mortar shops. I remember going into A&C in Boston, and they would have just these products in like cases, stuff that I've never seen, never heard of. And, I know you really like the brick and mortar stores as well. So, tell us a little why you want to support them.
I just like that, I have great rapport with them. I like all, I used to, have accounts in Cali, there I gave them to you, but now, I enjoy talking with them. I even, I just drive down sometimes, just shoot the shit. Like I never even I never brought like product to sell or anything like that. I might give them like some shirts and a hat and things like that, but I just always want to come and say what's up. And I love, like Southern California. That weather is perfect. But I like those shops too, just because there's not a lot of rules and like regulations. And when I mean like regulations, I mean like they're not really being told what to carry. A lot of corporate accounts, if you get something here, other shops got to carry it too. So I like how they're able to kind of carry what they want. And the fact that they do carry MyoBlox is very cool, but it also kind of goes in with their key mission too of having things that other people do not have. Yeah. And that's what's cool about those type of shops is because they have a lot of different things and they operate differently and they're able to supply, consumers more so with things that like you couldn't really regular get even if sometimes you looked online or going into like a GNC, you'll find some products and stuff like that, but usually those shops will not have what those shops have, so I think it's very cool to work with shops that like to carry things different because we're a different brand,
Yeah. Especially with the limited editions, that does really well in the shops.
Oh yeah.
Because, we only make, a certain amount of that product, and then once it's gone, it's really gone.
It is really gone, Rainbow Haze will come out next summer, but it will be a different version of Rainbow Haze. Ingredients are always in flux in the industry. So sometimes this formula is going to be different next year. It's going to come back out, but it will be different. I have seasonal releases, October, the fall, the winter, pretty much spring, summer, and I got some other things we're doing too for some limiteds. But that's also what's really cool, is that we're able to keep it different and keep the company in flux. I would never just do a reprint of the label and a reprint of, I would say, hey, give me the same shit. We start back from the whiteboard and then we map it out, get prototypes, maybe tweak the flavor a little bit, so in fact, you're always gonna get something different. This is like the fifth generation Rainbow Haze. So this is like our fifth version. We've been doing it for 5 years. Red Rum series, that's something we've been doing for 5 years too. I think this might even be the 6th year. I gotta actually look at my label to see. But everything's always gonna be different. It's never gonna be the same. And I think that's how every company should be. I think keeping the same stuff is just very it's boring. I get bored real quick. I got low attention span.
Well, yeah, especially now in 2018,
There's so many brands.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah.
And that's why the limiteds are great too for the shops because, if the shop gets 24 and they say, hey, this is 24 units, come and get it. When it's gone, it's gone. It really drives the customers to the store, which is great, and if that customer really likes that product, they might buy 5 or 6 of that pre-workout because they know that it's never going to be out again like that. That, like you said, the series will be out, but that product will never be the same.
No, never. Even when I first started, even when I did the new other versions, with even ASIN, every time I did a new batch, I had new labels to make too. So I always changed something with it too. If I didn't like, I was using my first amino, I was using alpha lipoic acid. It was a type R version, but when you had it in water, it just got a little real sulfuric smell and stuff. So though it was very good, it just oxidized a lot too. So we had to change that. I took that out and replaced it with another ingredient. I think it was a Serenade. It's like a choline donor. It was really cool. But you know, the point was always to keep something different, and to stay in flux, and to keep learning from, even if there was a small little mistake. The alpha pope wasn't a mistake, but it just taught me to always be mindful of change, you know, and to keep, you know, gotta keep on your toes, man. You know, I couldn't accept it being in that formula, you know, with everything too. I mean, the protein, when I first started, I managed to like walk it to people. I didn't have a car at the time, so I had to walk it to someone across town, or man, I was getting a crazy workout like all day. It was nuts. So, you know, and everyone's like, are you ever gonna change this? I'm like, next batch will be different, you know, and it was, you know, it was way better tasting, you know, and everyone started really liking it. I did like vanilla, did a chocolate, did a casein, which was just god awful. That was just disgusting, but it worked amazing, you know. And, you know, ever since the start, we've always been in flux, you know, from then to now, and we're gonna keep doing that.
Yeah, for sure.